my mobile users. I have completed the design space tutorials for a computer and laptop users, and I've also done a quick overview of the Joy app for mobile iOS users. Now I want to dive into all of my iPad or tablet users and phone users. Keep in mind, if you are using an Android device, you are going to have less features of all of the devices. It's just that's the way it is. The platform just changes so rapidly, I guess, that the app creators just can't keep up. And there are so many different types of Androids out there. So that kind of hinders you a little bit. But if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you're going to have more features than an Android user, but you're going to gain a couple of features, but you're also going to lose a few features from those of the laptop and the computer users. So we're going to go over what those are, okay? And what you have before we get into designing using a mobile device. So, what are the features? We all have attach. That's where we attach an image. If you have an Explore Air machine, an Explore Air 2 machine, or a Maker machine, you're all Bluetooth compatible. If you have an Explore 1, you're going to need an adapter sold by Cricut. But it doesn't stop there. If your device that you're using is not Bluetooth, does not have Bluetooth capability in it, you may need an adapter for that as well. It is not a Cricut adapter. You can buy an adapter to make your device Bluetooth compatible online. That being said, Bluetooth will time out and drop your connection quicker than being connected with a USB. But when we're mobile, that's the way that it is. It's Bluetooth, okay? And for that reason, you do not have if you have a Maker, you cannot use your knife blade at this time with mobile, okay? Because of the Bluetooth and it dropping, and when it drops, you don't see it, but your Cricut sees it, if that makes sense, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're using Bluetooth and you're doing super, super intricate, very, very, very detailed, large projects. You might want to use a laptop or a computer for that. We found that to, in our group anyway, be best for those type projects. Next, we have contour. Everybody has contour. That's where we can remove inside and outside cut lines, and we're going to show you some of that as well during the tutorials when we get to that. And everybody has the cut and write in one step option, and that is where you're going to put your pen in and your blade in, and it can cut the shape and then write on it as well, okay, without having to change any tools. Everybody has a flatten to a print, okay? You can flatten an image to a print. That being said, if you kind of look down here, even though you can flatten it on your device, Android users, you cannot do print and cut from your Android device. You're going to have to open it up on a computer or another device to actually print it out. You can design it for a print and cut. You just can't actually perform the action of print and cut, because that's what flatten is. Flatten does not do anything except make your image all one single layer, and it flattens it out for that print, okay, so that it doesn't cut inside and only cuts the outside shape. So you have that capability, but you can't do it, okay? Everybody has writing style fonts. We all have the machine set up, of course. Only your computer users and your iOS apps have print and cut capability, where they can print and cut straight from the apps. Slice and weld, available to everybody. System fonts, available to everybody. That being said, you can install system fonts on your computer system. You can install fonts on your iOS devices. Android users cannot install fonts. I think somebody found some kind of workaround. I'm not going to encourage anybody to do any jailbreaks of their systems in order to skirt that, because you can damage your devices. But if you want to look up something and see if you can do it, you can do that. But there are apps that you can use to create, and then you can upload your images. So there are workarounds for you guys, and we have all that information in our resource guide. And if you find some more resources, let us check them out, and we'll add them if they're viable. So next we have offline use. At this time, offline use is available only for Windows users and iOS users. It is not available to Android users. Keeping in mind, guys, offline does not mean 100% offline. Number one, and you need to go look this up on help.cricut.com if you plan to work offline. You must log into your account. You must save all of the images and fonts that you plan to work with for offline use. Don't log out of your account, and then you can turn off your Wi-Fi. And if you're truly offline and not picking up other people's Wi-Fi and jumping onto their hotspots, then you will see some orange buttons and you will truly be offline and you can work. If you log out of your app, or if Cricut logs you out because you haven't logged out in so long, which I think is set at 30 days, if you don't log out of your account within 30 days, Cricut will log you out and force you to log back in. So if you have logged out and then you try to go offline, you can't get in your account because you have to be online to sign into your account. So you have to go online, sign into your account, and then go back offline. So make sure that you're aware of that if you plan to work online, and you go look at all the ins and outs on that. Next, we have Photo Canvas. That is not available to anybody but an iOS user. And I'm going to show you what that is later on in the videos, but you're simply going to be able to design your design and then switch on your camera and hold it over your t-shirt or your mug and see what it looks like on that item. That's basically all that does. It doesn't stay in there. It just turns on your camera so that you can hold your device over your item and see a little bit about what it looks like. That's it. 3D visualization, that is also iOS apps only, tablets and iPhones, or iPads and iPhones, I'm sorry. That I'm going to show you, but it's just where it rotates your image and shows you how many layers are in that image. That's all it does, and I will be showing that to you when we get to the layers panel video. Smart guides, available to everybody except PC and laptop users. Smart guides just kind of help you snap to a grid and guide your piece on there, or your image around, and we'll be showing those. Snap Mat is only available to iOS users, and I will be showing that feature as well. That is where you can design or put just use a writing font and write in your canvas with your writing font, and then put an envelope on your mat, take a picture of your mat, and position your writing where you want it to be on there, and then have it write. And that's a pretty cool feature to use for addressing envelopes and things like that. Or a pre-made card that you didn't put a sentiment in and you want to add one later. It's a great feature for that. So if you have an iPhone or a tablet, awesome to stock up on your cards and then put your sentiments in later. Next, pattern fills. Pattern fills are only available on laptops and computers, not available for anybody else. Same thing with templates. That's just where it just gives you an outline for a guide, like a t-shirt, something like that. But if you have the photo canvas, you can kind of simulate that by doing your image that way. Image upload. Everybody can upload images. Linking physical cartridges. That is only available on a computer, and that is only done on the Air machine, the Explorer machines with a linking port, or the Maker with the adapter. Most of the cartridges out there are already linked to an account or we have gone digital with them, so there aren't really any physical cartridges being sold anymore. So it's not a big deal. If you know somebody with one of those machines and you happen to buy a new cartridge at a clearance bin somewhere, you can still link that, or you can contact support for help in linking it. Curved text only available on computer and laptops, but there are programs for workarounds for you guys. Again, that's in the group resource guide. And if you find some other tools that you like to use for that, let me know, and I will add those to the resource guide if they're not already in there. Knife blade cutting, we already mentioned, only available for laptop and computer. And then your community profiles, and this is like project sharing. It is not available on the Android app. It is only available for all other users. So that covers our features. So if you haven't bought your device or haven't made up your mind on a machine yet, this will help you decide. I encourage that you go and look out at the system requirements on Cricut.com. I'll leave links down below for these as well as a link to this chart so that you guys can review it whenever you need to. But look and see what features you can live without. What you can't live without, that's going to require you watching the other videos for the computer and PC on those topics that you don't get. And then make your decision. Then go and look at your system requirements and decide on your device.